the sits bones. Let's take some time here to just gently root down from our pelvis, go down, down, but stay lifted upon the sits bones. But allow your energy to immerse into your mat, to draw the energetics down into the earth, and even into the center of the earth if you need quite a bit more support in grounding. Feel some lightness and openness around your heart space, shoulders drawing back. We'll take just a few more moments there, find lightness and release in your mental space, the head space, and just allow yourself to link up with your breathing. So in this video, we're going to work with our core and also try for a little bit of arm balance concepts, side plank to crow pose, and possibly try variations in the crow. Excuse me. Nothing like Satya truth. So here to kind of help amplify our core, we're going to work with some Kapalabhati, fire breathing. So if you're on your menstrual cycle, if you are pregnant, or if you are digesting any kind of food, you do not want to work with fire breath, Kapalabhati. And if you have any sinus kind of energy going on, mucus going on, you may need a tissue with this. We're going to break this down into 3 rounds of the practice. So start slow. It is a pumping of our navel center, a little bit of our pelvic floor engagement. You don't want to be moving and overtly changing your breath through your shoulder, clavicle, chest area. Try to target it in through the waist. So if it's helpful, you'll just place your hands on your belly, and we'll begin this practice. Otherwise, another position could just be your hands on your hips. Begin. Stop. Deep breath in. Let your breath calmly release out. So going about 108 times in terms of that repetition. So we'll prepare for round 2. Can change up the way your body's sitting. Sometimes some of us get a different energetic based on how the body is positioned. Again, we want to keep a sense of groundedness. So although this does empower our mind, seeking that grounded principle as we're also drawing our energy, awakening and expanding. So round 2, prepare yourself. Stop. Deep breath in. Exhale. See if you can curl that lower anatomy up and in through this next exhale breath and suspend. So important that we learn to utilize our bandhas, and these are energetic locks. And when we go to do certain activations or poses, if our body resorts to bracing, we might then have to use so much extra effort and force, and then the posture loses sitra and sukha, a steadiness and a sense of ease. One last round here with the Kapali Bhati. So again, kind of checking in. If you feel like you can, we'll sit to the rock pose, the hero pose. Can have any props that further support that. And we'll try to bring into this last round the arms going out to the sides, thumbs pointing up. So just checking in where you can soften, shoulders relax down. You don't want to be curving your back here. Begin to pump the navel, final round. And release. If your arms are comfortable with it, we're going to go up over our head, touch our thumbs, expand our fingers up. Take a deep breath in. Hold. Release, exhale. Let the shoulders roll back. And we'll try twice more this concept that at the end of our exhale, we're creating a vacuum seal up and in. So it's kind of like you were trying to draw all of the energy from the pelvis and your lower anatomy up in the ribs. Seek out extra advice and descriptiveness for getting these concepts. Otherwise, you're just trying to hold that space after you breathe out, not trying to do those lower bandhas. Okay, so we'll try twice more here. Take a deep breath in. Active, clear out, exhale. Scoop up and in and hold. Slowly relax and breathe in. We'll do that once more. Inhale. Good clearing breath. And let's pull up in it. Nice job. Give yourself a couple arm sweeps there. You can add some shoulders. Give it a little wrap around, arms, and switch. Let's come over into downward facing dog pose. Get our body to kind of warm up. Through the legs, through the hips. Got it. Inhale, come towards a plank pose. Kind of get a little movement there. If you at all need to bring one move down, please do. Otherwise, again, the whole purpose here is to kind of find some activation in our core. Prepping for a little bit with some arm balance actions. So I'm going to do a last moment there, holding in our plank. Take a break if you need to take a break. You can be on your forearms. You can do a position where one knee draws down a few seconds and then the other knee. We don't want any exerted force. We want to just apply what is our truth of our strength and where we're at in this day, this moment, wherever you find this video. Nice job. Exhale breath. Take a moment and release yourself back. Balasana. Child pose. Release out anything that doesn't serve you. Work with your inner energy. Reset, tabletop pose. Tuck the toes under. Nice stable foundation. Head, shoulders, hips. We're going to hover our knees. Isometrics, hugging in. Try not to promote any body bracing or excess tension. Nice job. So those holds are at a minute there. So you did great. Rise up onto the shins. Have additional padding for your knees, your shins if you need. Give a nice shake out of your hands. Deep breaths. We're going to turn our hands in towards, our fingers rather, in towards our body. Placing the palms back down about shoulder distance apart. We're going to see if we can practice a little bit with the cat on our exhale. Cow pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One last time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Lengthening our spine. We're going to bring our knees in a little closer to the hands and kind of focus on that stretch for our wrists. So if you're comfortable, your bottom sits in towards hero pose. Feel your spine extend. And gently turn through the sides of the neck. Let's keep our ribs from flaring out. Nice job. Exhale, breath release. Take time, give a good shake. Maybe for some of us, feels really good to do rotations through there. And go the other way. So it's fascinating in our practice of yoga. We're both kind of building upon a place we've been, say like a warm up towards into something like peak and then a cool down. But then at the same time, we're also learning to cultivate a permission in ourselves to surrender and let go. So no judgment. You may want yoga blocks for this. We're placing our hands down towards the floor, about knee level, maybe mid shin level. But your top of the feet are going to stay down. And in a lot of our hatha practice, it's very important to key in what isometrics is so that you know you're not leveraging on just your wrist, doing something for you in arm balances. So even the way my pinky toes expand and activate through the top of the foot correlates with what the overall intention is. So my hands are down, I'm going to be breathing in. And then as I exhale, I'm going to try to lift the knees up. They may or may not, in your ability, be able to do that, but think of coming towards the tops of the feet. Inhale, exhale. Stay breathing. And slowly release. At times, we're also kind of learning these concepts of eccentric and concentric. I'll nerd out or geek out with that in a different video concept. But these are all applications where your yoga is helping you build and fine-tune the capacity for active practice, which does allow us to build strength. And we can also be releasing our stress, our tension, and transcending. Inherently, yoga does have a somatic concept to it. It's just the way we're working with that, so that the pose itself doesn't just live in a 3D construct, but we we can actually quantify the things that we're practicing. We're going to extend it out. Find our plank pose. We're going to lightly bend the knees, rise up, find the down dog pose. Keep our core strong, legs strong. We're going to be breathing in towards plank, but then we draw the hips slightly down. We're on our toe mounds. That's going to be our inhale. Exhale. Go slow. Inhale. Resist locking out and bracing or moving with momentum. Try to really see into your core. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, hold. Breathing in, knees down. Exhale. Child pose. Inhale from our tabletop. So side plank, maybe this is our variation today. Our right knee goes down, right hand knee to left foot on the ground. If you can, you're trying to possibly stack the legs, the feet. Vasisthasana. Slowly release. Our ability to control the action we create to go into a posture, the posture as well as the action we use to release or transition to another posture, come out of a posture, all of that is held within the capsule of practice. So it's really important you're not letting your body just drop or be flung from a posture to a posture. Let's try our opposite side. So again, you might start with something that's just a modified approach. Head, shoulders, hips lining up. If you feel comfortable to try it. Double stacking through the feet, the legs. Feel the hips, shoulder, head connection. And we release. Slowly. Take a couple moments there. Maybe you want to release out through the wrist. Do some clapping. Do some arm sweeps. We're not focused really in any other area, but you want to take care of yourself for the purpose of this video. There are some specifics. So now I'm going to invite you possibly to have a blanket or several. Crow pose, Bakasana. So this is a place where you're going to create basically something for the head, so that if you do fall forward in working on this pose, you now have something softer. The goal, of course, is that we wouldn't fall on transitional aspects towards a more level 2 to entering level 3. We use crow pose as a place to come into tripod headstand. Today we're just keeping it at crow. I'm going to slide my hands in slightly under the blanket. And I'm going to come up onto my toe mounds. Take a couple moments for breath and body connection. We want to lift up, bend our elbows, and try to send the knees close by our armpit area, tricep area. And then you can just rock kind of forward and back. You want to keep your head lifted, and you want to keep your gaze forward. Remember that practice builds upon itself through consistency. So where you're at, try to have consistency in your breath. If you feel comfortable to try to lift a foot, maybe then try to lift the other foot. The elbows stay bent. Elbows are kind of out to the side, slightly wrapped back. That scoop in sensation is happening through our lower anatomy. And if you feel comfortable and it's there for you, you might float your feet off. You could even have your feet on a block. You could have a block under your forehead. Great job. We'll take some moments to release out. Sit back so you're coming into a Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Check in again with your overall energy. It's time to wrap the arms in like eagle pose. You can stay sitting up nice and tall in the butterfly of the hips. You can take the forward position and even lower down to an edge where you're comfortable. Cultivating our inner yoga. Notice the wrap of your arms. Inhale, open out, and exhale. Let them wrap it the opposite way. Breathing in, and if it felt comfortable to do so, you might go forward. Inhale, breath rising up, and exhale. Fingertips behind us. Slowly come down onto your back. Keep the right knee hugged in. Exhale, breath. Twisting around. Inhale, center. Switch. Left knee hugs in. Exhale, twist around. And then unwinding. Let yourself just be there for a resting position. Relax. Reset any of the body parts. Gently allowing your consciousness to expand. Feel that subtleness of our energy in our body, but you're not making the body do anything.
consciousness can expand. Relax, relax, relax. If you have more time to rest a little longer, please do so.
Thanks for practicing with this video. Level 1 strong to level 2